I have a fear of cooking, but it's for different reasons. It's because I'm fearful that I'm actually going to poison someone unintentionally. Welcome to Fearless Chats, where people like Jeffrey bravely challenge their outdated instinctive fears around rejection, failure, and social norms with never before seen, fairly random questions and a whole lot of uncomfortable eye contact. Today, my guest is Jeffrey Lewis, President and CEO at Legacy Health Endowment. Jeffrey has previously served as president of the Institute for Healthcare Innovation and was CEO of the St. Paul's Foundation Healthcare Project in Massachusetts. He has spent 20 years as president and chief operating officer at the Heiss Family Philanthropies, and even did his time on Capitol Hill as a staff director and senior legislator working on health policy. And to your credit, this is your second Fearless Chat because we had epic technology fails all on my end last time. So thank you so much for coming back on and braving this one more time. Here is your first question. What is your biggest irrational fear?
My biggest irrational fear, completely irrational, not being able to cook.
That is a fairly irrational fear, although in these times, maybe it's becoming more of a rational fear.
You know, I've been cooking since I was 13 years old when I learned in a restaurant in Detroit, Michigan. So I've been officially cooking since I was 14, which is a very long time if you knew how old I was. And I cook at least once or twice every day.
Wow.
So not being able to cook is truly a fear of not being able to be creative. You know, there are certain things in life that you worry about or fear not being able to do. Walking, talking, hearing, but cooking has to be right up there because it's both a passion and a creative opportunity. And in a COVID-19 environment, creativity is so important to be able to express yourself when being sheltered in place.
I love that. It truly is. And I'll tell you, I am much more of a creative cook these days when, you can't get certain ingredients than I ever have been in the past. Okay. Question 2. If you were given the task to summarize the entire human experience in 3 words, what 3 words would you use?
The entire human experience.
I know, but it's no pressure. It's nothing epic or anything. Just all of human.
What 3 words? So what 3 words would I use? Great question.
Thanks.
I would use kindness, loving, and caring.
I really want to follow up on that, but it's against my rules here, which is that I'm not supposed to follow up on these questions.
So I chose those 3 words for very specific reasons. The human experience that we have lived through and are living through and will live through is predicated on our ability to recognize everyone for who they are and what they can do and what they can't do. And the easiest way to help somebody, irrespective of education, age, income, ethnicity, is to be kind, is to be respectful, and to accept who they are, what they can do, what they're comfortable doing, and what they're comfortable being, is to be kind and to be a great listener as part of that process. The caring piece becomes even more important because of our need to be our own, there's a line, I am my brother's keeper. So to degenderize it, if there is such a word, if there is now, I am my friend's keeper. And that's the caring quotient of how much are you willing to push an envelope in terms of expanding your comfort zone and caring for other people you know and people you don't know. And the third part, and the reason I suggested, which was the word loving, was loving has both an L, a small L, and a capital L. It's not just loving your neighbor and being kind and caring, but it's truly having the ability and the willingness to express your love to someone unconditionally and not being afraid that they won't respond in kind, that they won't respond, period, that they will respond in a wonderful way or they will respond in a pretty not wonderful way. But you do it because it's from your soul. It's your way of helping nourish your own soul in caring for people in the way in which you believe you can and you want to. That's why.
Wow. I am so glad that I didn't follow up, but allowed you to follow up that response. That was that to me truly is what being fearless is about, is making room to love more, to be more kind, to have those capital L loves, right? Where it isn't about the response. You do it irrespective of who the person is or what response you're going to get from them, because that is such an important part of the human experience, and one that makes it so worth living. So thank you so much for that answer. Okay, third and final question. Who is going to play you in the movie?
J.K. Simmons.
I don't know this actor. Tell me.
He's bald, more handsome. So I think that's great. He's wonderful. He's a phenomenal actor. I probably have his name wrong, but he's the guy that does the commercials for
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
At the same time, his latest show that was on Prime or Netflix called Counterpoint, which I would encourage you to watch. There's 2 seasons.
Yeah, I know this guy.
He is the kind of person, from what I've watched as an actor, multiple ways, who reminds me of sort of a younger and older, a professional, a person who has been impacted by tragedy and drama, who cares deeply in the Counterpoint show for his wife who had been in a coma for many, many months. He's passionate about making sure that his daughter understands his world and the next world, which is the whole point of Counterpoint. But there are lots of bald guys out there who can act. I'm just not one of them. I'm just more passionate than I am in terms of the ability to act. So that would be my recommendation.
Well, I think you chose wisely. I got my stopwatch ready to go. We'll see how this experience is similar or different from last time, and I'll get your feedback once again at the end of 2 minutes. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Our timer has started. So, my friend, how was it?
How was that? You blink a lot.
I do. Huh. I'll have to go back and watch, because I've never actually watched myself watching someone else. That'll be an interesting experiment to see. Did you have any different experience that time than you did last time?
Just one. I kept thinking about the phrase as we were doing that it's important to look inside the soul of another person, accept who they are, be glad you met them, and to say thank you.
That is beautiful. I have to say I had a very different experience than I did the first time. My experience was that I felt like I knew you better. And I felt much more comfortable with you after, what, 15 minutes of talking last time.
Um, I completely agree. I think we could sit as friends or colleagues and have hours of conversation as if it was been going on for years.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a very interesting
Yeah.
moment. And I appreciate you sharing that with me and being willing. I also, as a side note, I also was like, man, those are really cool glasses. I want a pair of those glasses.
So I will admit that typically in a non-COVID environment, in a suit every day and a suit and tie, how do you differentiate yourself? So interesting socks.
I see your wrist, your computer. Thank you for that. That is awesome.
So interesting socks and interesting glasses. And I search as I travel around the country, or used to, um, interesting places to find. I had this really favorite pair I found in LA, and sort of had a blue on the outside and another color on the inside. On the outside, you could see. I don't know how I lost them. So these were a replacement, but they're not quite the same. So
Well, I dig them. They're definitely noticeable and different. And as a partner to a bald-headed man, keep rocking it. So thank you again for being on again with your super valuable time. It's good to connect with you. I feel strangely familiar with you, which is kind of a cool thing.
so I don't know if I told you, about 8 years ago, I went back and started writing an annual poetry book, some of which is on my LinkedIn page. Book 8, which just came out, I didn't print yet because of COVID, is a PDF. Book 7, which is an interesting conversation based on conversations that I've had with a number of transgender people.
Huh.
And I sort of look inside them to tell a story of one particular person based on these conversations. But I'll email you book 8 and let me
I
know how you.
I will absolutely dig into that. Congratulations, Jeffrey. You've made it through a fearless chat. And despite any stress or discomfort that you may have experienced, you didn't die, which is amazing because I'm sure your brain may have been warning you about that. So congratulations. You've obviously mastered the art of separating out those fears in your brain that are immediate and life-threatening, like the tiger, from those outdated fears that would otherwise be preventing you from fully living and having experiences like that. So thank you again. Brilliant. I cannot wait to read these books. Is there anywhere that people can go to find out more about you or about your books or anything that you're doing?
They can just email me. My personal email address is Jeffrey, Jeffrey, Robert Lewis, Lewis, all one word, at gmail.com.
Jeffrey,
I'm an open book, so you can ask anything.
thank you again for your bravery, for coming on for another Fearless Challenge, another Fearless Chat. And I appreciate
Thank you.
everything you're doing. You're doing so much good work for this world. It's truly needed.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you again. Bye, Jeffrey.
Bye-bye.
So while you are waiting for next week's questions and guests, you might just go have a fearless chat of your own. Who inspires you to be fearless? It's your turn to have a fearless chat. Instructions and new questions are posted each week on my blog and, of course, all the social streams. So be sure to like, follow, and share your own chats using the hashtag #FearlessChat. Let's all make room for more growth, more fun, more connection by becoming fearless. Oh, and let me know who you'd like to see as the next guest. I'm always open to suggestions and ideas. We'll see you around. Keep being fearless.